So part three, chapter 12, is just we talk a lot about Amazon, how complex it is, but not all companies are as complex as Amazon, but they have other problems, right? So you have a lot of global supply. So I think also that's a lot in the news nowadays, talking about okay, we need to buy masks and we need to buy ventilators, and guess what? Where do they come from? I know that answer. They come from China, right? Which was also the source of the problem in the beginning, right? So, things come from different places, and then people are talking about, well, we need to produce ventilators here in U.S. We need to produce more medication here in U.S. medicines, and we should, do this in the U.S. instead of, putting that in other locations. So these are kind of complexities that the supply chain has, right? So whenever you're deciding, you need to decide, okay, where do I going to buy my ventilators from, and then how I'm going to ship it, and how they're going to get here, and so forth, so on. So think about a very simple business, right? This example is a flower on demand florist business, right? So what suppliers did this small business have? Well, we have to have packaging suppliers, we have to have flowers, local and international, and we have to have arrangement materials, right? All the kind of paper we use, vases we use, and I don't know, rocks. I don't know what we use in packaging flowers. Maybe you guys know more than I do. So we need to have suppliers for those materials, right? We also need to have service suppliers, right? We need maintenance, we need delivery, we need the local delivery service, we need internet. So we need, some people to maintain a building where we're going to grow the flowers, to maintain the IT computers, softwares that we use, the phone. So we have in a very simple example of flowers kind of business, we can already kind of think about dozens and dozens of different suppliers that are needed for this business to work. Also, you can think about how the supply chain is going to happen when in the distribution side, right? So we can have home customers, so I can sell them my flowers to directly to the end customers that are at home, or I can have it delivered to commercial places, or maybe I can have grocery stores that they're going to order my flowers, and then they're going to sell to the end customers. And maybe those are going to be big. They're going to be small. I don't know where else we can sell flowers. Gas stations, maybe. I don't know. So there's kind of different types of customers, and each one have a different way of ordering, right? So commercial will order more than homeowners, customers, but retails will order more, right? So this is kind of an example of a service, but we also have an example of a manufacturing, right? So imagine if we have a company that have assembly line in the United States, but they have warehouses. They sell products in the U.S. and in Germany, right? So let's take an example of BMW, right? In the Greer manufacturing plant that they have, they produce the X 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 models, and they used to do actually 100% of those models in the worldwide here in South Carolina, but now they shift some production to South Africa and to China, but they still do about 70, 80% of all X models for the world. So they have, they have places in the U.S. They can distribute that. They have warehouses in Germany. They can distribute that, right? And they also have suppliers, right? So they have suppliers, a big base of suppliers here in the southeast, but also have, say, Mexico, Germany. Things are coming from different places. So you can see that it becomes very complicated because every supplier has also dozens suppliers, right? Or hundreds of suppliers, right? And just example of kind of places and parts that they might have, just to for you guys to understand, right? So this first level here we call the first tier supplier. So this is kind of the focus company. that we're looking at. This is the first tier suppliers, so say sub-assemblies, the second tier suppliers, components, and the third tier suppliers, raw materials. Okay, and here is the kind of the distribution part of the supply chain. So, what I want you guys to do for the team mini case assignment is to design that supply chain. Okay, so think about your company and think about suppliers that they have, right? So instead of putting, as I put here, in the example, the countries, you just put like the product here, right? Gear system, brake panel. So you can put like the product. If you can find a country, if you can Google it and see who supplies meat to Wendy's, and find the country, and actually that'll be cool. But what I want you to think about is, okay, what they need to buy, what do they need to purchase, right? And then what do these people need to purchase, right? From what location? So put at least 10 boxes here of first tier and second tier suppliers. Okay, and also how does it reach the final customer? If you sell directly to the customer, do they go to warehouse and then warehouse goes to retail and then goes to the customer, or how does that supply chain work? Okay, and that's the question one of your team assignment.